Let us know if you'd like that. Trevor Thompson.
Morning, Blash. I noticed Mark was out there this morning. Does that mean he's off of protocol?
Yeah, Mark's out of COVID protocol. We don't anticipate him playing today. Today's the first day out, and obviously got a chance to skate today, but I don't anticipate him playing tonight. But he's out of COVID protocol.
Okay. With Robbie Fabry and his new deal, what makes him a coach's dream to coach?
I think Robbie's done a really good job since he's come here of playing extraordinarily hard. Everybody in this league plays hard, but he's, I think, really played extraordinarily hard. And I think that's who he is as a person. My gut, just talking to him, talking to, his past coaches in St. Louis after the injuries, I think he got a little bit where he played careful. And I think when he got here, we had conversation early about you're not going to be a really good player if you play carefully. You have to have that, great intensity in order to make up for maybe a lack of size and a lack of speed. And he's done that. And I think this year, especially, from the drop of the puck in training camp, from the first practice, he's done an excellent job of really competing on a day-to-day basis. And to me, then he gets to use his skill set and he can really shoot the puck in the net, and he's got good hockey smarts. So, he can separate himself with that competitiveness. That's what he's got to do.
How integral is he as a part of the core for this rebuild?
He wouldn't have signed a 3-year deal if he wasn't. Obviously, the management felt that he was. I certainly feel that he is. He's a winning type hockey player for me and a winning type person.
Every day in different ways, COVID keeps piling on around the league and just around sports in general. How big a distraction or even a stressor has it become for players and coaches on a daily basis?
I think it's a distraction or stress when it hits you more than anything else. I think we live in a little bit of a tunnel. We probably don't watch as much as you watch and read as much as you read. No offense to anybody, but so I think it's a little more when it's really hitting you that it becomes, I don't want to say a distraction, just becomes something you have to deal with. And certainly on a everyday basis, we're aware that there's more cases just in our own team. I think, as you guys know, we were in kind of an enhanced measures protocol for a while. I think everybody's got a little heightened awareness of it. Certainly from the beginning of the year, when you kind of felt like you could do anything, and now we got to be more careful. But outside of that, it's how does it affect us from winning and losing, and how does it affect us personally with our own health? And that's probably the biggest thing.
Thanks, Blash.
Yeah.
Queen St. James.
Jeff, I know lines can always change, but with Robbie Fabry and Pius Suter, do you like the chemistry that I know you had Fabry on Larks' line lately here, but the chemistry, I mean, is that a pairing you can see kind of going back to whenever possible?
Yeah, it's something that we've used through most of the season. Robbie's had the opportunities to play up when Bert's been out, which has obviously been a couple different times. And Robbie's also somebody that I can move to the center, and he's done that when Larks has been out, I think once or twice. So, but I think him and Suits have been a pretty good pairing together. Just trying to figure out the best way for each line to be successful, and I think figuring out what the best 3-man combo is for that group is still important. They've created lots of chances over the course of the season. I didn't think Robbie got rewarded with the number of chances he created early, and I think he's gotten rewarded more lately. He can score for sure, and I think that's starting to even itself out here lately.
He scored twice the first game with you guys, which is always a nice way to start off. When did you maybe kind of realize that, hey, this guy can help us? And he came in at a time when you needed help, especially scoring goals and such.
When he came in, we definitely needed help. Our team struggled obviously that year. We didn't play very good hockey, and so right away I knew he could help that team. Now I think the question you ask yourself is, can the player help you win long term? And I think for a player to help you win long term, one, he's got to be a winner of a person. He's got to be committed to winning above everything else, and I think Robbie's that. 2, he's got to be a type of player that can win when it gets tough and hard, and I think Robbie can do that. So Robbie's showing us that not only is he a guy who's helped us over the last couple of years, but can also help us win as we try to move up the standings.
Lastly, I'm curious, when something like a deal like that happens, does Steve come to you and say, hey, I'm thinking of making this trade take a look at some video of Robbie? What do you think? Or like kind of what's the process there?
Every situation regarding trades is different, and I'm not going to speak on our internal matters that way, but every situation is a little bit different.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Carlos Monterez.
Yeah, hey Jeff. Obviously, with Bert out the last few games, what have you guys missed without him in the lineup besides obviously his scoring, touch?
Yeah. He was out for 5. The last 3 we lost. I would say that we were in position to win 2 of those 3. We didn't. Even though the game in St. Louis ended up a lopsided score, it wasn't lopsided by chances. What do we miss? He's obviously a really good player. So you miss a guy who's been on our top line, but you also miss kind of an engine, both kind of on the ice in terms of how hard he plays and the passion with which he plays. And I would also say off the ice, he just brings a lot of color to our locker room, a lot of excitement. He's an energetic person, fun to be around. So, those are the things that he certainly brings to the lineup, both on the ice and off the ice. He's an important piece for us.
Daniela Bruce.
Coach, I've asked you about this a few times, how this team has done a pretty good job of not letting these losing streaks spiral out of control. And after 3 losses, how do you turn things around against the Islanders tonight?
Yeah, each one's its own challenge. I think you're going to ebb and flow a little bit through the season. You'd love to not end up where you've lost 3 in a row. I look back a little bit and if you get frustrated, if you look back and say we should have done a better job, certainly in the home game against Nashville. We had a chance to win the St. Louis game, and then it's on a back-to-back against Colorado was a tough task, and we didn't pass it. How do we stop that against a team that's like us, both I think desperate for points, in a team that's coming back probably similar to us, more to full strength. We're gonna have to play great hockey here. We can't have our B game. We got to have our A game. That's to a man. We got to play great as a 5-man unit. And you got to find a way to most likely, if that's the case, if we play great hockey, it's going to be a tight game. Very few times do you get away from these guys where you could build a big lead. So it'll be a tight game, and then you got to find a way to make a big play at a big moment. But it's going to take really everybody kind of, I've said this before, we've been able to get out of these. It's big players stepping up, and we're going to need all our big players, all our players to step up. Yep.
That's it for us this morning. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Coach.